Knocked us all out. I mean, they were terrific.
Saying bye-bye blues. We're saying bye-bye blues.
We're saying bye-bye blues. We're saying bye-bye blues.
I never bought into any of that kind of stuff like fame or whatever people want to call it. It was all a lot of work, Carol, because our sweet father demanded perfection.
During the Andy Williams shows, we had to come up with something new every week, or else we weren't invited on the show. So we ended up ice skating and tap dancing. And
you're going to do a drum solo, and I had never played drums in my life, and I was 8 years old, and I go, really? Okay. So every week we would be challenged, but we put in at least sometimes 14 hours a day, just a lot of work.
Some people might say, yeah, you were gifted and all this. No. We were taught. We were trained. And we were able to accomplish great, heavy tasks at such a young age.
And they were constantly tutored in their faith.
Faith beyond faith. My mother.
And she wasn't so, you're going to be LDS and you're going to be a Mormon. She was never like that. She said, go out and study all the good in the world. And she was so confident that our church encompassed so much truth and that we had experienced so many good experiences that we'd never stray from that. None of us have.
We're to keep one evening free to spend together.
The Osmond family was one of the first to try a new church program, Family Night.
That's why I believe so strongly in the family home evening program, because my father prepared us as kids.
In Marie's craft room hangs a quilt, a tribute to her mother.
This is her life. And it's everything from this hung in our kitchen. She loved to cook. She loved genealogy. My dad would give her a piece of jewelry every year they were married. And that's the first piece he gave her. This is the last stitch she took before she had her stroke. And so I kept the needle where it is.
Marie remembers her first performance at age 3.
I remember the costume fitting. Because I got to have a sparkly necklace and this feather dress. I have it framed in the back.
I don't know what happened to the original necklace, but it was much fancier than that. And I was really kind of dazzled by it, and I got silver shoes. I thought it was pretty cool.
Marie says she wanted 2 things from an early age: to be a good performer, and at age 10 to know if the gospel was true. She went to her mother.
What should I do? And she said, if you're going to live something, you need to know it for yourself. She was such an honorable woman, truly a holy woman.
And her father, Marie says, was very humble, never in the spotlight, but stressed the importance of their faith even when they were on the road.
He helped us to understand that it's so important to take the sacrament. And that's a covenant.
And while on the road, they found a way around fans who followed them everywhere.
We got special permission from the First Presidency under those conditions to have a sacrament meeting in our hotel rooms. My mom, being the scriptorian that she was, it was a gospel doctrine lesson to all of us siblings, almost every week. And my dad would say, okay, now we're going to have a testimony meeting, and each one of us would bear our testimonies. And it solidified my testimony because they were very spiritual moments as a family.
He sacrificed everything for his children's success. He never took a dime of our money. He always invested his own and took care of my mom with that. It's a unique family. And I believe my 2 deaf brothers came down that way to start it all, who I think are remarkable men.
Computer viruses and spyware are more dangerous than ever. But what happens when a virus or spyware tries to get in your PC laptop's computer? If you think you have a virus or any spyware infecting your computer, no matter what brand it is, bring it into PC Laptops and we'll scan it for free because we love you!
Lead generation is one of the most important aspects of any marketing campaign. Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products or services to them. Go to aimyourdigital.com today. aimyourdigital.com.
Campers, barbecuers, tailgaters, overlanders, and foodies. No matter the lifestyle, we can all agree on one thing. Great food and great people are worth remembering.
Utah Online School's been fantastic. The flexibility's been great.
I absolutely loved Utah Online School. They always were guided by a very competent and caring teacher.
Find out why thousands of Utah families choose Utah Online.
You rang? What's up?
I got hit by a car.
Lucky you, just a couple of scratches.
Don't accept that check.
We'll make sure you get the help you deserve, and we only get paid after you win.
One call, that's all.
801-444-4444.
Allison and Michael have been in their home for 10 years, and their bathroom really needed an update.
I like doing home projects. Would have definitely taken me longer than we have.
They needed a more convenient option, so they called West Shore.
The design consultant made it really easy.
I left for work with the kids and they showed up. Morning.
Have a nice day at school.
By dinner time, we had our bathroom.
Computer viruses and spyware are more dangerous than ever. But what happens when a virus or spyware tries to get in your PC laptop's computer? If you think you have a virus or any spyware infecting your computer, no matter what brand it is, bring it into PC Laptops, and we'll scan it for free because we love you!
The Osmonds became a huge success. On one of their many tours to England, they met Queen Elizabeth, and little Jimmy wasn't the only one to say something unexpected.
All this protocol, don't raise your hand unless she raises hers, and don't speak to her unless she speaks to you first. And of course she came to me and I said, hello, Mrs. Queen, you know. So my mother goes up to her. She wrote her testimony in the Book of Mormon. And, you know, Her Majesty was so gracious. And she said to Her Majesty, she says, I want to give you my most treasured possession. And later on, I performed for Her Majesty once again with my brothers. And she stopped and talked to me for a second. She normally doesn't do that. And she says, I remember your mother. And I still have, she put it this way, I still have your Mormon Bible.
Their success was based on two things, they say: a work ethic.
We were known as the one-take Osmonds because we were minors and we couldn't work only so many hours a day. So we would take the work home with us and work very hard to make sure we got it the first take.
Donnie was 5 when he first performed on The Andy Williams Show and remembers being frightened by the cheers and applause when Andy took them on tour.
And the next thing I vividly remember hearing is Andy saying, Donnie, come back out here and take a bow. This is all for you. It was that moment I thought, that's for me? I got to do this the rest of my life.
They also attribute their success to the way they lived, away from the world.
Through the teenage years, we were there as a family, and we worked through our problems together. Nobody was really allowed in that bubble unless we really knew who they were.
The one-take Osmonds were also quick studies. The brothers all sang, danced, and played several musical instruments.
How many people can say that Paul McCartney was their buddy and he gave him a bass, or Elvis Presley knew your first name? How many people can honestly say that Led Zeppelin wanted to come see your show?
I loved country music. I loved the honesty of it. And I loved how it didn't matter if you were male or female. If you were good, you had a hit.
She was 12 and a half when Paper Roses hit #1 on the country charts.
It was never like, oh, wow. It was like, ooh, I better be good on my next one, too, because you can't live off your laurels.
Jimmy was just 3 years old when he made his debut on The Andy Williams Show, but he soon found his own audience in Japan.
When I was 5 years old, I had my first school record there. And I was like the first American child to ever sing in their language, and I guess they thought it was unique, I don't know. And then I just kept recording, and I did commercials for about 11 years. And I had a television series there called Nicho Arai Gekijo.
And the second thing, they never shied away from expressing their faith.
We're unashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ. And we would say it from the stage. Hey, we're going to church tomorrow. You want to come with us?
Verl and Tom had their own success, becoming the first deaf missionaries for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
I went to Alberta, Canada.
And I flew to Canada to meet my brother Verl.
While there, they met then Elder Spencer W. Kimball. They were only supposed to serve for 15 months.
Stay here, because you're very successful with the deaf people.
We actually converted some hearing people too.
Faith had a lot to do with my upbringing. It was constantly talked about with my mom.
And noticed by church leaders. When President Joseph Fielding Smith